Stephanie Abrams here, dashing through the airport. I'm going on an adventure. I've got my backpack, I've got my laptop, I've got my traveling shoes on. Come along with me. Florida's Fab 5 hotels. We're going to visit 5 unique and special hotels in Florida, in different parts of Florida today, starting with the iconic Biltmore Hotel. And later this hour, we're going to celebrate the beginning of our second season of Travel TV with Stephanie Abrams. And I can't think of a better place to start than with Jean Prescott, the president of the Biltmore Hotel. Maybe you can give us some staunch description of what makes the Biltmore in Coral Gables, Florida, so amazing.
It first is the architecture and the history. It sits on 150 acres. There's a golf course, historic. When I say historic, designed by Donald Ross, a very famous golf architect. It has one of the largest pools in the United States. It's about 22,000 square feet, and then it permits us to have a lot of different items to do, ranging from very good culinary outlets to spa to a fitness center, and of course some lovely rooms because the architecture permits it.
Well, we came to visit you in early April, and I can attest to the fact that not only is the food exquisite, you are so mesmerized by the surroundings in which you are dining. And I can remember, I don't know if you'll remember, but we had lunch just before I met you. You were about 2 tables over from that fountain in this wonderful outdoor garden-like setting. And we were just a couple tables over. And I'll tell you the truth, Jean, you could have served me anything. It wouldn't have mattered. It was just so lovely sitting there.
No, it is. It's special. It's a setting, and it permits, as you're just describing, someplace magic. It's many of the people who come and stay with us find that they might have, for example, from weddings to nice events, and then it also, given the size and it's being spread out, it permits to have children and have their spaces. So and in fact, one of our big areas of attraction is for weddings, destination weddings, for the very thing that you saw, the very nice spaces. In fact, I've had all my 3 kids have been married here, so I know a first-hand experience the attractiveness of having weddings, destination weddings. When I say people, they were from outside the area come here.
Well, you are in a great location because Miami International Airport is a connector to the world.
Yes, and we have very good connections. And Miami Airport, when I say that, the community is just in the final stages of redoing the airport, spending like $5 or $6 billion. So it's much nicer than what it was 5 or 6 years ago.
You know, one of the things that I find remarkable, your property is reminiscent of a kind of European, Spanish, Moroccan-inspired architecture all mixed together. And for people that are going on to somewhere else and don't want to, the more connections you have, the longer it feels till you feel like your trip began, whether it's for business or pleasure. But if you can stay somewhere on that connector piece that adds to the experience, you don't lop off 2 days of your trip waiting for your trip to begin. It's already begun.
Absolutely. No, and as you say, when we travel, it's sometimes the start and the finish aspects are the ones that are the most negative. We in the hotel business, for example, say when people come, we want to be sure we treat them right and quickly because their experience often is not the best. So the fact, as you say, of starting it and maintaining it for the longer time period certainly helps.
Oh, and if you're one of those antsy golfers coming from a northern part of the U.S. where golfing goes out of season somewhere in November and maybe comes back somewhere there in April. What a nice treat to give yourself if you can plan your flights right. You connect in Miami overnight. You've got a few hours in there of daylight that you can go and have some fun and unwind, relax, arrive in your destination ready to hit the ground running.
Absolutely, and the golf courses, we have one here at the Biltmore and other places and others here in Miami that are very good. Whole different levels of play depending on obviously what one wants and is comfortable with. So the golf is really nice. And Miami, as you know, has started to be a lot of variety. We have now the performing arts area, so we get a lot more arts and variety. We also have, of course, starting to be in terms of our food that I think is as good as any or better than many on the East Coast.
I want to take a walk around the pool here at the Biltmore. Take a look at this building. It looks like diving boards there coming off the top. I don't know that they are, but I want you to pay close attention to this swimming pool area and that tower-like building, because I want to take you off to a bathroom in the suite that we stayed in at Farnham Estate in County Cavan. Have a close-up look at this chair. I flipped the chair over and it says, The Biltmore. This upholstery was fashioned after the pool at the Biltmore Hotel in Coral Gables, Florida. Is that not fantastic? And you feel the kind of Art Deco period joy of being at that property. This is Farnham Estate. It's in County Cavan, Ireland. And you see the actual building there on the right? That was the original house. And the rest, they built a big modern lobby and then a big modern hotel. This was our suite at Christmas time. You see, we've got our own personal tree. Outside, there is an indoor swimming pool. That's the outdoor. You could swim right under a window into the indoor. And here I am, luxuriating, relaxing in that suite at Farnham Estate. I'll never forget the chair in the bathroom. Now we're back at the pool at the Biltmore, so let's have a look around and we're going to rejoin Gene Prescott.
So it was started in 26. It stayed open. They had some financial trouble in the 30s, as many others did, during the war years, and it was used as a hospital for many years. Now, they kept it at a hospital for almost 20 years. I think a lot of it because they wanted the Army brass, understandably so, sometimes wanted to use the golf course. In fact, we had President Eisenhower, this is before he was president, who came down 2 or 3 times. And then it started, it was in the 80s that it was developed back to a hotel. And they tried to be very authentic. They said all the way from, obviously, the architectural details, but also the color. And it has been designated a National Historic Landmark, which is of national historic importance.
And you can see that. And if you haven't been to the Biltmore, on your next trip to Florida, or plan that next trip to Florida, put the Biltmore in Coral Gables, about 15 minutes drive, the easiest trip to land and get to the hotel and be relaxed in a heartbeat that you could possibly imagine. Mr. Prescott, thank you so much for joining us. Stay with me. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Stephanie Abrams, and you know I love to go traveling, and I bet you do too, and that's why you're watching. But if you're going traveling, there are some things that you absolutely need. One is a passport, and another is something to entertain you, perhaps other than a video game while you're traveling. Maybe when you crawl in bed at night, or while you're on an airplane. Maybe waiting at the airport. Try Rumors by Stephanie Abrams. You'll find it at every online bookseller. It's a story of intrigue, mystery, love, lust, romance, and all wrapped up in rumors in a community where people like to talk about one another. And the end result, you'll never see coming. It's full of twists and turns, fast-paced, and people just love it. Go read the reviews and get yourself a copy for traveling with Rumors by Stephanie Abrams. We're pulling up at the beautiful, grand, glorious, majestically lovely, welcoming Pelican Grand Hotel in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Look at this place. Isn't this gorgeous? And conveniently located at 2000 North Ocean Boulevard. That should give you a clue where it is. In Fort Lauderdale, Florida. If you're flying into Fort Lauderdale, how long does it take to get here?
Depending on traffic, but no more than 20 minutes. Originally, this building was designed to be condominium project. And towards, I guess, the last minute as they're selling them as kind of, oh, you know what? Wait a minute. You know, this could be actually a great resort. And that's kind of how that all started. So there are not kitchens or anything like that in the rooms.
But gosh, the space is big enough.
It's big enough you could put a little kitchenette.
Yeah.
Right? You know, you could make that
who wants to really cook when you're in South Florida? I mean, you've got so many fabulous restaurants.
That's right. Absolutely.
But listen, I know how to, probably my best skill is I know how to make reservations.
Yeah, me too.
So, but this space that I was in, there was a beautiful bathroom on the left as we came into this room. There was a very spacious bedroom area. And then there was, from left wall to right wall, a kind of divider, French door kind of thing going on.
Yep.
And by the way, people, you can go to my blog and you can see the pictures I've put in there. And if everything has gone right, go to travelers411.com and click on member photos. And if things have gone properly, somebody here at the Pelican Grand Beach Resort in Fort Lauderdale has uploaded a whole bunch of pictures so you can see exactly what we're talking about. So you've got this wonderful glass wall of small window pane French door story that opens up into a big living room area. And that lovely sofa then is a sofa bed.
Correct. Queen size.
Oh, wow. That's fabulous.
We've just been renovated, finishing that up. All new flooring, new bathrooms, new fixtures, everything. And then, of course, from there, the living room, you walk out onto your own balcony, which is beautiful, which overlooks the water.
What's the width of that room?
Good question.
Is that about 15 feet, would you say? 12 to 15 feet, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And it's a nice long room.
It is a nice long room. Yeah.
But you feel like it's a separate area for the living room space. And if you had somebody sleeping in the other part, you'd still have your own privacy.
Or if your husband's snoring and you have to sleep in the other room, you're good.
No, you just give him
Not
an elbow. An elbow. You are on a gorgeous stretch of beach.
Oh, beautiful. Stunning. Which we have cleaned every day, by the way.
Wow.
Yes,
and then
beautiful.
Is it the top level of the building where
the 11th
spa
floor
is?
The 11th floor. Yeah.
Oh, listen, I felt I had a spa treatment just walking through. It is the most exquisite space because you have that whole all the exterior walls are pretty much floor-to-ceiling glass. I mean, just complete panoramic view of north and southbound and eastbound.
Which is all water.
All beach, all left and right.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Isn't it? It's just breathtaking. Nobody can say that they have what we have. I mean, and it is by Swedish design. So it's airy, it's light, it's... talk about a happy place.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because you can get a massage. It doesn't have to necessarily be completely dark. Right?
Yeah.
So it makes actually for better relaxation, believe it or not. Yeah. And as you saw, it's just stunning. And we have that outside deck area as well. And then we also have that couples room that is a complete panoramic view of the ocean. And, just makes you want to go...
So your website is? Don't do W's.
I don't do
Just give me the website.
PelicanBeach.com.
Take a stroll around the hotel together and the beach. I mean, I have to keep coming back to the beach because for me, It's so much about the view. For me, you know, that feeling you get when you open the door to your accommodation and you have this magnificent view wherever you are in the world, it's worth $1 million. It's that inspirational moment that truly uplifts you, because gosh, the world is such a beautiful place and we see so little of it. Look at that. Come on. Crawl into a beach chair with me. So we're looking at the Atlantic Ocean, and from time to time we'll see a freighter, a cruise ship, somebody's gorgeous yacht. But it's lovely just to be here. And there's the pool. And you can view this as you enjoy sitting at maybe one of those tables on the terraced area there, on that back porch, if you will. So you can see by the way the building is built, you have so many views from those wonderful balconies. Now this was taken from up on the spa deck, way up on the roof, and you can see the lazy river. Don't you just want to get in one of those floaty tubes? There's one. Let's grab that one. Float around together a bit. It's really a clever design. And, you know, kids love it. Adults love it. People with babies in their lap love it. It's wonderful because in some families, people only love the beach or they only love the pool, and here you've got both of them right in front of you. Pelican Grand Hotel, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Amazing place. And you know, part of what I love about it, the interior architecture is very British colonial. It almost feels like you went to some elegant place in the Bahamas, and you're in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 15 minutes from the airport. Fantastic. And it's about an hour to Miami International Airport, so if you fly into either one, it works. But of course, Fort Lauderdale Airport has fabulous lift from all over the U.S., all over the world. Gonna miss this place. We gotta go back there again soon. We've just pulled up at the Betsy Hotel on South Beach, very fashionable South Beach in Miami Beach, Florida. That's Jonathan Plutzik, owner of the hotel and chair of Fannie Mae, and the most down-to-earth, nicest fellow you ever want to meet. He is a honey bear. And hospitality just exudes from his pores. You can see the hotel is right across the street from the beach. And this is the side of the hotel where on the exterior there is the hotel's gelato and crepe bar and this marvelous fencing. Look closely. Those are poems strung together end by end. I guess they're laser cut. I don't know what the technology is to do this fencing, but it is this fence display of ongoing poetry. Let's talk with Jonathan. This was from an unpublished work by Chaim Plutzik, the father of my guest, Jonathan Plutzik. And it says, "Expect no more. This is happiness." That is such a profound thought. You grew up around that? How did you, first of all, how do you survive growing up in this kind of profundity?
Well, as I mentioned, he passed away when I was young, but obviously, again, we celebrated creativity and the importance of language and so forth. And actually, the funny thing is when we began to talk about using that in association with a hotel, many of my colleagues from the hospitality industry said, well, you can't do that exactly because, of course, you want people to always expect more because they want excellence in the hotel. And I said, well, actually,
that's very different.
That's very different.
Yeah.
That you have to come here, expect a lot in terms of service, et cetera, luxury, performance, music, so forth. But you also want people to say, please come here and revel in whatever moment you're in. You know, and maybe there may be good things, there may be bad things, but you've got to get to a place where you can say, for at least some moments, I'm really happy.
You found your happy spot.
You found your happy spot.
Crawl into your happy spot.
You found your happy spot. And not to take this to a down place at all, but that quote, expect no more, this is happiness, was actually found in my father's wallet after he passed away.
Oh, wow.
At age 50. So obviously he was, and I don't want to project because I don't know exactly what he was thinking, but I can assume he was saying, look, I'm very ill and I'm, headed to a different place, but I've got to find a way to be happy with what I have and what I've had and my family and so forth and so on. So I think it's a very important concept, I think, for all of us. And it's turned out to be, I think, an important message for all of us who work here, and I'm hoping for those people who visit here as well.
Stay with me. We'll be right back. On the line with me from Florida is Brad Weiser, the principal at Hostmark Hospitality and the managing partner of the brand new Perry Hotel. Exactly where is the Perry located, Brad?
We are in Key West, Florida, in a part of Key West that's called Stock Island. It's one of the 7 islands that makes up the city of Key West in that area. We're about 4 miles from downtown Key West. And we sit on the beautiful marina called the Stock Island Marina, 220 slip, state-of-the-art marina that's just spectacular.
I am so thrilled you managed to escape the kind of damage you saw happening all over Florida and was presented as Florida is like the novel Gone with the Wind. And I was so worried about the Perry and Brad Weiser because we had just a couple of months before done an interview with him, and the passion that you exuded related to what went on to build this hotel that came out of the box, brand new, already designated as an architectural award-winning building by Architectural Digest. What was the award you got?
Well, they picked their top 12 best new hotels for 2017, and we were one of the 12.
That's incredible.
The Boutique Design held their 37th annual, what they call their Gold Key Awards, and we were selected as the best new upscale lobby design and won the Gold Key Award for that.
What makes your lobby special?
Well, I think when you first open the doors, come in the front door, you have about a 22-foot tall ceiling, and when you're looking through the front doors out the back doors, it's a full glass floor-to-ceiling glass, which you're staring out at our pool deck and then out into the marina. So it's a pretty spectacular, dramatic view. And then we've done, with the design of the combination of the industrial feel with some of the concrete walls, but then inlaid teak wood floors, and of course the signature 22-foot tall wall of boat propellers really is very dramatic.
Wow. Now with this hurricane thing, did you have any water rise and come in?
No, again, we were very lucky. Key West was lucky. It stayed, stayed below the seawall. It did not breach the seawall, so we had no water even come up close to the hotel entrances.
Yeah, because I was already imagining these teak floors, and even teak does funny things when it's in the water too long. even though it tends to be a water-resistant story when it's properly stained or varnished or whatever it is they do with it. But when you were on last, I guess the things that registered and resonated with me were that you are not just pet-friendly, but that you also created a dog park. What prompted you to do that? Are you a dog lover?
I'm a dog lover, and my wife's even a bigger dog lover, so yes, we're very active.
I gotta tell you, I loved you before. I'm really crazy about you now. Now, how many actual guest rooms are there, sleeping facilities are there in the property?
We have 100 rooms.
There are wonderful dining options. The building itself is glorious. Clearly, it's won awards. There is a marina that will hold a couple of hundred boats, as big as 300 feet, you're telling me. There's just about something for everybody, including the person who travels with their pet. Or let's state it the other way. The pet who allows their owner to come along. There may be 100 rooms at the Perry Hotel, but my favorite is this gift shop in their lobby. Look at the I Love Dogs t-shirt. Is that not cute? Everything in that gift shop is adorable. And look what else. Rumors by Stephanie Abrams, a book you need to pick up for your travels and for everybody traveling with you in ebook or in print. And now we're off to Hollywood, Florida, and the Diplomat Hotel. I have so much to share with you, and we're going to be sharing much of it with you today. This is the last night of a very long trip, and so we may share all of it or some of it in what's coming up, but if you're going to spend a last night somewhere, make it luxurious. We are at the Diplomat in Hollywood, Florida. And we've picked a place in Hollywood, so we're really convenient to Fort Lauderdale Airport because we're going to be flying home tomorrow. And I have to tell you, I wish we could have gotten here earlier. I've already decided I must come back. The place is wonderful. The view is worth $1 billion. And the accommodations are just as beautiful and special. Of course, they use my favorite colors here, so I'm already happy when I walk in and just see the colors. But the furnishings are so well appointed for function, as well as for comfort, as well as for that wonderful uncluttered look that makes you relax from the minute you arrive. And isn't that what a hotel or resort is supposed to do? Primarily, it's a place you're going to relax and rest and sleep and enjoy. But I have to tell you, the Diplomat in Hollywood, Florida, put it on your must-stay-at list. And watch what's coming up next. What's coming up next is me waving at you, inviting you to come out on the terrace and join me. That entire long living room, dining room wall is all windows, sliders, lovely terrace, phenomenal view of the beach, the ocean. Look at that. Is that not dramatic? Now that's the view over the balcony. So you can see the Diplomat's pools right there, the beach, the lovely terrace. Can't you just see yourself sitting out there with your morning coffee, Florida orange juice? A mimosa? How about that? A glass of wine in the afternoon or start early? Doesn't that bed make you want to just jump into it? Looks like a big marshmallow. I have to tell you, it was that comfortable. They use the finest of everything. Beautiful, lovely linens. You could tell the mattress is comfortable before you even get in. Now you see where I'm sitting on that chair? And there's a curtain behind me, just to the left of that flat screen TV. You're looking out in the living room now. Well, on the other side of that window, there's a slider that goes right out to another little patio area. So you can really get lost in this suite. Wonderful. There it is. There's that little exit from the bedroom out onto the terrace. And a glorious bath. I love when the bathtub and the shower are two separate places. Oh, and by the way, you see in the pocket here on the right, see the bathrobe? You see the pocket? It's got slippers in it. More and more hotels that provide bathrobes are getting stingy, no longer providing slippers. Love this. And that's the Diplomat's general manager, Lauren Zierens. And that's Stephanie's Florida's Fabulous Five.
Please don't go away. There's so much more to come.
Look over my shoulder at the beach and all the people in their bathing suits, those who are surfing and frolicking in the water. And in fact, there's a snorkeling center just to my left where you can pick up equipment of various kinds for water sports. What a great place this is.
Some names, it's not, you don't have a name, you just have a number, so it's a code. So you either decipher the code or you don't. So that's another mystery in its own.
Well, we're going to explore more of the mysteries of St. Elmo, the fort here in Malta. I see here chili peppers.
Chili here, I prepared some milk just before you arrived, and I turned it already into cheese. Now, maybe you know, to turn milk into cheese, if you have to go for the very traditional method, is to use the stomach of the baby lamb, of the lamb, or the kid from the goat. This you put the stomach in the way that comes out from the cheese to create these enzymes to turn milk into cheese.
From inside the Cathedral of St. John in the capital city of Malta, Valletta, with scholar, filmmaker, and local celebrity for sure, and probably a celebrity in much of Europe. So if you don't know him, it's time for you to get to know Narsi Kalamata. We're talking about the interior of St. John Cathedral in Valletta and its history. Where did we leave off in the story?
So, Grandmaster Lacassiere built a conventual church for prayer and sacred ceremony. But because they had built Valletta, an impregnable city, then there was 200 years of Pax Melitensis, or peace from Malta, because they were dominating the Mediterranean from Malta's strategic position, and nobody dared attack Malta again. They became very rich because they came from noble families. Every knight had to have 7 branches of nobility in his family before he was installed as a Knight of St. John of Malta. And every Grand Master wanted to be like a god, remembered forever, eternal. So every Grand Master would leave some kind of monument behind him, either bronze covered in gold, gold is eternal, or a statue made of marble.
Fitzgerald's Woodland, let's see if I can do it all. House, hotel, and spa in Adair on the west coast of Ireland. This is Stephanie Abrams. We are in Ireland on the wild Atlantic Way. We are in Dingle, on the Dingle Peninsula. If you look very carefully, you can see those white dots. Those are sheep. Here they come again. Now look carefully and you'll see them. They're now out of their group and in a big line. They're hilarious, making a beeline. Oops. Maybe they're playing soccer. That must be it. They're playing, even the sheep in Ireland are soccer fans. They're trying to make a goal. It's hilarious. Way out to the right, you can't see it now, but you'll get more footage of it as we travel on the Dingle Peninsula.
I'm the Senior Manager of Government Affairs for the Northeast in Amtrak's State Supported Services Department. So Amtrak's Government Affairs Officer.
How much of that goes on your business card?
A small portion.
Tell us about this wonderful montage painting that's behind us that really gives some significant landmarks that one would find in Albany.
This has quite a story behind it. It was actually a mural that was painted in the old Albany Rensselaer station that was torn down back in 2002 when they built this station. This actually was painted by a renowned artist in the Hudson Valley from Kinderhook, New York. His name happens to be a good friend of mine also, named Andy Pelletieri. He was a longtime Amtrak employee, but he's also an artist by trade.
I'm in St. Patrick's country. How cool is that? I am in the Kingdoms of Down. It's even cooler. In County Down in Northern Ireland, in a town called Downpatrick. And I am in the St. Patrick's Center, where in 2007, I was honored as an honorary friend of St. Patrick by the center. And it was actually March 16th, 2007, because on March 17th, the director of the St. Patrick Center was flying to London, England, to award to the then mayor of London, England, the same honor that's given to two people each year, I being one of them that year. I was in very cool company. And this center is the only permanent exhibit commemorating the life of Patrick, who is buried just at the top of the hill behind the St. Patrick Center in Downpatrick, County Down, Northern Ireland. If you walk out the front door of the center, make a left turn for probably 15, 20 steps, walk up the stairs and up and up and up, you'll be on the main street of the old town of Downpatrick. If you make a left turn, you'll be looking down the road a block or two at Down Cathedral, which looks like, you know that puzzle that the Disney company put out a jillion years ago with the road that's winding up to the Cinderella Castle? Well, that's kind of what it looks like. I have with me Donald Fraser. Donald his title is educator, and I've gotten just the best education in the little bit of time I've had to chat with him before I was lucky enough to be able to share him with you. And we are here at the Statsburg State Historic Site. Exactly where in Dutchess County are we, Donald?
Well, we're overlooking the Hudson River. We're right on the river here in Dutchess County. We're between the villages of Rhinebeck and Hyde Park, conveniently located to the New York State Thruway.
You know, I'm so tired of hearing about the rain in Ireland. Everywhere I go, people talk about the rain in Ireland. Have you noticed how sunny the pictures are? I can't open my eyes, people. I am squinting behind my glasses that are busy turning dark in the sunshine. But we're here in front of Dirty Nellie's. There's actually a Dirty Nellie's in Boston, but they spell it differently, and it doesn't look anything like this Dirty Nellie's. But that's that section in Boston that makes you feel like you are in Ireland. So on your way to Ireland, you might want to stop in Boston and snoop around, especially in the most historic sections. And Dirty Nellie's has been here for about forever and ever. I'm going to say about 400 years. When you go inside, you'll see there's first a little pub area and then with a fireplace and whatever, and it's quite small and cozy. But you go into the back and the restaurant opens up and it's still small and cozy, and lots of badges and banners that were gifts from fire departments and police departments in the U.S., where members of our finest and bravest have come to visit, have a pint, and leave behind a memento, so you'll see it here. And you're looking up at Bunratty Castle, a wonderful historic place you can visit. They do run groaning board dinners, kind of Renaissance dinners, medieval dinners at night that you can buy into with music and food, and an experience you will long remember. And there is the Bunratty Folk Village, and you walk about the village and you'll find, like in Sturbridge, Massachusetts, or in Old Bethpage Restoration on Long Island, there are buildings of a variety of kinds, from the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, the milliner, and there's a little tavern in there as well. And you can go and have a bite in there, and you can actually eat in what used to be the kitchen. I like to eat there. It's a cozy, fun part. And this is in County Clare, in Bunratty, in Ireland. I am so happy to be in a glorious suite at Clontarf Castle Hotel in County Dublin. And I am with the general manager of this glorious hotel in Ireland, Jason Ormston. Thank you so much for making time. I know you're so busy today. You are fairly new as the GM here, aren't you?
Thank you very much, Stephanie. And Cade Míle Fáilte, 100,000 welcomes to Clontarf Castle.
Drinks in the evening. That coupled with your bar, that you walk through those amazing antique gates that make you feel like you have entered some very auspicious place. I mean, it's just quite remarkable.
Yeah, I think we are the gathering. We are the gathering centre for Killiney, and there is no doubt you can walk through our lobby at any time of the day or night and be quite surprised at who you might meet. It seems to be the local area to go. It's conducive to having a quiet conversation. It's also conducive to having a good old get together with pals and family members, and so we meet everybody's needs.
I am so happy that you are with me today. April 15th, 2018, the 106th anniversary of the sinking of Titanic. I want to take you back to 2012, same date, April 15th, the 100th anniversary of the sinking of Titanic, to a little town on the west coast in County Mayo in Ireland called Laughardan. You see in the red jacket here Mary Robinson. She was a former president of Ireland, and in Ireland the Taoiseach, which is the Irish for chief or chieftain, known more glibly as prime minister, is the one who does the real work of making the country run, and the president gets to do the wonderful things like make the speeches and appear at social engagements and kiss the babies and cut the ribbons. And on this date, April 15th, 2012, I was privileged to be in Laughardan. This is at a mass in St. Patrick's Church in Laughardan. And at this event, the current then Taoiseach of Ireland, Enda Kenny, was present, and you're going to see him coming up in the front row. And at this event, it was memorializing and commemorating the sinking of Titanic, which they have done every year for just about 100 and some years, because 14 of the passengers on board bought and booked passage on Titanic from Attergool Parish, where Laughardan is located. This wonderful little town of a population of 200 attracted 3,000 people the night of the 14th for pre-events that started in the middle of the night and went through until the afternoon of April 15th, 2012. And so on this 106th anniversary, today being the 106th anniversary of the sinking of Titanic, I wanted to share with you this incredible event that was the park, a memorial park that was spearheaded by the Attergool Titanic Society. They built this wonderful memorial that you have to go and visit. But join me as we go to the park. You can see, and there's Enda Kenny. By the way, you never hear the press in the U.S. use the word Taoiseach. You never hear them use the word Taoiseach because nobody wants to make a mistake pronouncing it. They all call him the Prime Minister. In this town, population 200, over 3,000 people piled in to be there for the dedication of the Attergool Titanic Memorial Park. In the park, there were 2 bronze statues waving goodbye, the emigrants leaving. Today, there are 4. You see the back of that cottage? You're going to now see the front of a cottage. They were built from the stone of abandoned cottages. In the bedroom of the first one, the back of the cottage, there's an eternal light waiting for them to return. Let's listen in now.
Ladies and gentlemen, most importantly, boys and girls, 2 words stand out to me today in this wonderful occasion here. This park will be dedicated to the memory of those who died in this locality of the Titanic. It tells a universal story. It's a story of emigration, a story of hope and expectation, a story of tragedy, a story of loss, and a story of remembrance, and as I said above all, it is a story of community. It was a shared understanding of hope, of vision, of expectation, and past experience. It was the news coming back to the congregation that somebody else in the village or from the parish would take leave and go to America.
It's a joy sharing highlights of Season 1 with you. In Season 2, we'll take you along to more exciting places close to home and far away, and some with our family dog in tow. Every destination we share with you is a snug fit for my personal mission to introduce you to places I believe you'll return home from enriched, enhanced, inspired, and uplifted, and know you're a better person because of that journey. For your well-being, take 2 trips and call me in the morning. And tell all your friends to watch Travel TV with Stephanie Abrams weekly and catch video on demand at biztv.com.